I'm not gonna lie, this originally started off as a reason for me to just buy Bakugan as a 26-year-old, but it kind of sucked me down a rabbit hole I was not expecting. Bakugan brawler's gonna throw down. Bakugan brawler's never stand down. Bakugan brawler's gonna throw down. Straight out the gate, if you do enjoy Bakugan as an adult, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, this is not a pre-established hobby, so I had to have some sort of justification. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the entire history of the marble. Now, this is going to be pretty concise because marbles date back to like the Roman Empire, so we're not going to cover all of that. That being said, we're going to jump from the Roman Empire to the 1880s and 1890s, because that's whenever marbles, as we know the game, starts to kind of pick up, and they hit its peak in 1920 and 30. So that means the last time marbles was really, really popular was back whenever your grandfather could buy a turkey sandwich, a Coca-Cola, and a Playboy for a nickel. And from 1930 to about 1980, marbles, the game, still hasn't changed because, shock surprise, you can only do so many variations of throw rocks at other rocks. Now, once we get to 1980, we get to meet a man named Aldrich Saussure. I think I pronounced that correctly. This guy had two good things working for him. One was he was an inventor, and two is he enjoys little mini figurines. So he mocks up some diagrams, and his first ones are good. They're not great. They're kind of limited. However, it is good enough to get a patent. But being a small-time inventor, he couldn't take it very far. So then he sells that patent to a company called Spin Master. Now, this is where things start to ramp up a little bit because, like I said, capitalism states if something's uninteresting and you can make it interesting, it will sell. Now, Spin Master was trying to figure out how to bring marbles into the 21st century, just because, again, it was unchanged. Now, once Spin Master got a hold of the mini action figures, this is not Bakugan yet as we know it. These are just mini action figures that could turn into balls, but it is the new marble. Now, as we cross the threshold into the 21st century, this is where a little company called Sega now gets a hold of the rights to Bakugan because Spin Master sold it over to them. This is where the anime starts, the action figures, the merchandise, the game itself. All of these aspects come from Sega. And what started off over in Japan came over to the US in 2007, which is whenever my generation was like, ooh. And with the exception of like new seasons of the show or new action figures that come out. And apparently, I remember whenever Bakugan was in one piece, I did not know about the whole multiple halves thing. The closest thing my generation had to that was like the Dragunov thing. Or is that a gun? I don't remember. The big dragon thing that connected a whole bunch of limbs like a mech. Anywho. But as like new shows kind of came out, this is where my generation got more and more invested and became more entertained because these action figures had life. Bakugan brawler's gonna throw down. Bakugan brawler's never stand down. Bakugan brawler's gonna throw down. We are Bakugan brawlers. Powers in our hands and now we're standing taller. Never let them take on everyone. We will brawl till we fall, no matter the outcome. We are all misfits. Together we're strong. Bakugan brawler's gonna throw down. Bakugan. However, that covers the entire history of the marble. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.